Hi everyone, my name is Ivan. So the topic of the talk is bridging chaos, building a multi-VM blockchain, which we are doing for the last year. So our project is called Cytonic. We have started the company as Multi-VM Labs, and Multi-VM Labs is building the first multi-virtual machine blockchain ever built. So we all know that there is hundreds, if not probably among thousands of blockchains right now in the world. Most of them are running on EVM, but we also have different virtual machines like Solana, like Cardano, like Near, Cosm, etc. And we are just getting more and more blockchains every day. It seems like everyone is building blockchains and everyone has a tough time to bridge between those blockchains. It's a very tough user experience if you want to go from, let's say, Tron to Near, or if you want to go from Near to Ethereum, if you want to go from Ethereum to Solana. It's a very, very bad UX. There is some approaches like OKX wallet, which allow you to do that more seamlessly. But all in all, like if you think about it, you have to have gas on Tron, you have to have gas on Solana if you want to do something like that, especially for like very simple stuff. If you have, let's say, USDT on Tron, your preferred OTC desk doesn't accept anything else than Tron USDT, but just ERC20 USDT or USDC, it's a very tough time to do that. And especially for new users, for everyone who's entering the market, it's a very, very tough UX. And almost no one is tackling the problem from the core. And the core is that you have these blockchains which have different elements to it. They have virtual machines, storage, the networking layer, and then you have bridging solutions which are all coming from the outside, where people are trying to build it from the outside in. So you have like external bridges, you have projects like Wormhole, Layer Zero, etc. But there is no real answer to that from a networking perspective. So what we are doing is we are building it in the same network. We want to do, or what we have built so far actually is a layer 1 blockchain, which is there for doing validation, security, and it runs pretty fast. It's super scalable. It's EVM compatible. And then we have one sequencer, which is basically handling all the communication between rollups on top. And then we can have multiple rollups, like a very fast EVM, which is parallelized. We can have SVM, which is both live. And then we want to have new virtual machines like Near, Move, Cardano, etc. So people can deploy their existing smart contracts on top of these virtual machines, on top of these rollups, and they can all work seamlessly together because they are sharing the same sequencer. And the gas fees are all united in one token. What we can also do then is basically use compatible tokens we decide to be paid as gas payers, so the user doesn't have any friction between, basically going between products. And what it allows us to do is you can have, let's say, a SVM asset, like a Solana token, or like a EVM or ERC20 asset, which can then be natively swapped across. There is like similar approaches to this from chain abstraction, where you have like intent-based solutions, etc. But what we are doing is kind of building it to work seamlessly in one network. So you just connect with any wallet you have. You can come with your preferred wallet and use whatever you want to use without any bottlenecks, hurdles, etc. So that's our end goal, for the user to have one wallet and use their preferred token to get another token. Very, very simple. And how this works from a basically token perspective, our internal wallet management system does everything for you. You just register once and you kind of basically use the whole network. Okay, this slide hasn't really loaded well. Yeah. So where we see ourselves is basically Bitcoin has invented digital money, and then Ethereum came along, which made digital money programmable. And then Solana made it scalable. And now we have the huge fragmentation issue in the market where we want to make digital money compatible. That's our value proposition. There is a very good reason for projects to become multi-chain. So if you analyze, for example, GMX's success story, they were first live on Avalanche, and then they went to launch on Arbitrum and 10x basically their valuation. We are compatible with every RPC, so if you want to use Solana's or Ethereum's or ours, Cytonic is compatible with everything. And we also have all the dev tooling for Solidity, for Solana, and we are going to integrate all the dev tooling for every VM we implement. And so the ultimate goal is basically to have all these chains in one network, use it, and have never problems of bridging or compatibility again. So now our testnet is live since Q1 25. We want to launch the mainnet in November during Cosmoverse. And that's basically it from the presentation. So I'll tell you more about the ecosystem projects we are building right now. So we have a new ecosystem incubator, which is called Cytonic Matrix. Cytonic Matrix is incubating actively 12 projects right now. One of the projects is hybrid exchange, where we are working together with a team which is going to build an exchange, which is going to work across multiple networks. And it has a very similar user experience to something like Hyperliquid, where you have a very fast matching engine off-chain, and where you have the on-chain components. Basically, you can deposit money from any of the networks here and use this off-chain matching engine to trade perps across all of that. And it's basically going to be a very big competitor to Hyperliquid. So we see this as a one of our new flagship products. We are also doing 2 projects in the AI space. One of them is a project which we call Pirate LLM, which allows you basically to use a new large language model without any restrictions. So there is no lobotomized large language model here. You can basically ask them any prompt, and it will give you any answer you want. And then we have another AI project which is called Exaya. Exaya is allowing AI agents to interact with other AI agents to create infinite amount of content. So you can think about it as an AI agent which is either fighting against other AI agents actively, or is producing content as like AI agents pretending to be human-like figures, and you can produce unlimited amounts of content. So Cytonic Matrix is launching after token 2049, where we are giving out grants and gave already out grants to 12 projects. And these 12 projects are launching on our network. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Any questions from someone?
Hi, thank you for the presentation. My question is, who runs the networks? Who are the sequencers, or how the network is decentralized?
Yeah, so the layer 1 is decentralized. So it is, I can go back. The layer 1 is decentralized with different validators, and the sequencer is run by us basically. And it is a more centralized solution to the layer 1. Very similar solution to what Mega ETH is building right now, or what Celestia is proposing with the Lazy Bridge. And you can think about the sequencer as a centralized entity, which can be decentralized through a committee, like a very similar solution which Arbitrum is doing or Mega ETH are doing. Ultimately, the layer 1 is the decentralization part. We are still debating if it makes sense to implement a third-party data availability layer. Something like, I don't know, Nuffle Labs from Near or Celestia, to have, like, in addition to the layer 1, a more scalable DA solution. And then, but the sequencer is a centralized factor, and I think it is being shown in other ecosystems that the sequencer being centralized isn't a huge issue for users, as long as you kind of always can bridge out to the layer 1 and have like some sort of escape hatch.
What kind of projects are you incubating? And you said you're giving away grants. So what type of projects are you looking to get in the matrix?
So for the Cytonic Matrix, we are looking to get 3 categories. One is Web2 onboarding, everything related to gaming, everything related to social media, Telegram apps, WhatsApp games. Everything has mass distribution. So what we achieved with our airdrop app right now, we have scaled in 6 months to 500,000 users using basically these Web2 onboarding methods. What we want to do now is go more into Telegram, more into Line, more into these kind of chat or let's say new social media apps where people are gathering to kind of onboard them more natively with gaming or with some collectibles so they don't really realize that they're using a chain at the first. This is like one category. It's all about onboarding non-crypto users into crypto, or let's say Web2 users into crypto, or people who use crypto sometimes but don't actively use it. So that's one category which we want to actively invest in. The second one is AI, but not real like AI applications which are just for the sake of being AI, but just think about what we want to do with AI is something like things you cannot do on a Web2 centralized server, like an open source AI model which will give you any answer you want, right? I think this is pretty hard to build for any Web2 company which raised money from Web2 VCs. If you think about the legal stuff, etc., it's basically very hard for a company like Mistral or OpenAI to have a really open model. So that is like really open AI. That's what we want to do. On the third, and then everything regarding like composability of DeFi. So a user being able to get a sex-like experience, essentially going from any wallet, going from any network to us, and the same exact experience you have to have on Binance, but in a more decentralized way and permissionless way. That's basically the three elements. So it's DeFi, AI, and Web2 onboarding. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your attention. If you want to reach out to us, we are here for the whole week in Dubai. Just basically ping us in our social channels. You can find us on X, Telegram. We have a strong presence there. Just ping us. We are going to meet with you, discuss stuff with you. If you want to build on us, just shoot us a message, and we are going to reply typically within the first 10 to 30 minutes. And that's it. Thank you so much.